Good morning. It's Thursday, the 28th of June, 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom talk. I'm surprised, actually, no one reports me for child cruelty after watching the opening video. You know, the countdown we have right at the beginning. There's this bit where you'll see great niece Evie and great nephew Harry. Actually, that video's about a year old now, where I'm doing TikTok with them. That's where I grab an arm and a leg and I swing them violently from side to side. It's usually the adults that don't like it. The children are, oh, be really careful, you might hurt them. The children are screaming. It's like when they're on a swing. Have you ever swung a child on a swing? If you are like, and I quote my niece, she has a new name for me. Not uncle, Funcle. Funcle, because I am a fun person when it comes to small people, right? And when you're pushing that pram, it's not the pram, yeah, probably the pram as well, actually, come to think of it. When you're pushing that swing and there is a child on it, what do they say to you? Does the child say to you, oh, be really careful, Uncle Chris. I don't want you to swing the swing so hard that I go flying off the end and end up with my face in the grass. Do they say that to you? Do they? Do they say, can you go a little bit slower because I'm getting frightened on here? Nope, don't think they say that. Do they say, oh, please, don't push the swing so hard. I might fall off the side or hurt myself or break a leg. Do they say that? Do the children say that? No. What do they say? Higher, higher, faster, faster, higher. And we do. We swing it higher and higher until some miserable mother or father comes over. Oh, you gotta be careful with the children. They're so boring. They're so boring old people, aren't they, kids? Don't you find that? Overpowering, covering them in little bits of cotton wool. No, we want to have fun. And that's why I refuse point blank to ever grow up. Thank you very much. We'd all be much happier as 5, 6, 7-year-olds. I'm telling you that now. I was a happy boy. And as you can see, because I never grew up, I'm still happy. Happy, happy. Happiness, happiness. The greatest gift that I possess. That's the case. That is the case. I'm a bit concerned about Prince Charles, boys and girls. The newspapers are laying into the royal family once again in this morning's super soaraway Daily Sun. That's it. Prince Charles splashed £1 million on trips around the world last year as the Queen's spending has soared by 13%. Oh yes, newly released accounts reveal that royal travel costs rose from £4.5 to £4.7 million. Blimey, I knew the train fares were dear, but that dear? £4.7 million. You know why that is, don't you? I know why that is. I know why that is, because they're always telling us to do it. They're not booking their travel tickets in advance. I bet what's happening is His Royal Highness, Prince Charles, is turning up at the train station and buying the ticket there and then. It's the worst thing you can do, dear. No, Charlie, lovey, you've got to book 6 weeks in advance. Surely you've got someone to look after your little diary there. You know, if you haven't, I'll come over and sort it out for you. No problem, no charge. No charge whatsoever. Prince Charles spent a whopping £1 million in the Sun this morning on trips around the world last year. It was also revealed that the Queen's annual expenditure soared by around 13%, largely due to renovations at Buckingham Palace. Well, what do you expect her to do? You know, the place needs a bit of wallpaper now and again. I mean, perhaps I could send round the bloke who did my living room downstairs. That's looking pretty good, I must say. I do enjoy sitting in the living room a lot more than I used to, because it was a horrible green colour before, which I chose in the past. Well, I very quickly decided I didn't really like the colour. And it does take me a while to decorate things. I don't do the stuff myself. I can't stand decorating. Oh, I hate it. Oh, it's so boring. Up, down, and speckles of paint all over the place. All over me, all over the carpet, all over the furniture. Can't do and don't want to do decorating, so I get someone in to do it. But it takes me a long time to get someone in because, I've got to move that around. They're going to come in. They're going to upset my routine. I don't like my routine being upset, dear. I'm telling you that now. I get up at a certain time. I go for a sleep in the afternoon at a certain time. And when someone comes in and does something, it upsets my routine. I don't like it. However, I have recently had it done by a chap called Rob, who was fantastic and didn't mind me going to bed while he was doing his decorating downstairs. I could send him round to the palace. He's not very expensive, about £100 a day, something like that. Hey, Your Majesty. She's having a little bit of wallpaper put up. You can't expect the Queen. Hear the word, the Queen, the Queen. You can't expect the Queen to be sitting in rooms where they haven't been painted for a few years, for God's sake. Newly released accounts reveal that the royal travel... I've read that bit. The pair travelled on the prestigious RAF Voyager. It sounds like a spaceship, doesn't it? Is that something to do with Star Trek? Are the royals now able to travel around in space? Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Voyager. Its 5-year mission to explore new places. Yes. Starting with the Congo, I suppose. I don't know where they started. The taxpayer funds received by the monarchy to pay for the official duties and other expenditure, that's the sovereign grant, rose from 42.8 to 45.7 million. Not enough, dear. She needs more money. You can't expect her to be wearing the same clothes all the time, do you? My sister doesn't walk round the road in the same knickers week in, week out. Why should the Queen? She needs more money. We must have a second collection at church this week. I shall immediately contact Father David at the Corpus Christi in Wokingham, dear. We need a second collection for Her Majesty. She needs new clothes. She always looks impeccable. We can't let that slip. What will Johnny Foreigner think if the Queen suddenly comes out, in an old black vest and a pair of tracksuit bottoms? What would people think? Huh? A little baseball cap, something like that. People wouldn't like it, would they? No, she needs to look impeccable, and she always does. Have you ever seen, has there ever been one occasion where you haven't seen the Queen looking wonderful? Huh? Has there? No. Oh, what about the poor people? We're not talking about the poor people. We're talking about the Queen, dear. Queen. Someone will pipe up in a minute. The Queen's expenditure also rose from 41.9 to 47.4 million. Oh, yes, that's it. There's pictures of her there. A Buckingham Palace spokesman said the future figure represented an operational cost of only 69 pence per man, woman and child in the UK. That's slightly up from 65 pence last year. Well, I'm happily, if she wants another £1, I am happy to put a little £1 coin in an envelope and send her another £1, dear. What about when the Americans come over? I reckon they'd happily donate a little bit. Perhaps we could add it. Like President... There we go. That's what we'll do. Like Mr. Trump. Like Mr. Trump, he's got all these new tariffs. We could have new tariffs on all people coming to the UK for foreign visits to assist the Queen in purchasing new dresses. Yes, I think that is the case. That is the answer to the problem. We need a new tax. We need a tariff. As President Trump likes to say, we need a tariff on people coming into this country, my loves. If you're coming to this country, and it wouldn't need to be much. Say £1. I mean, probably only needs to be 20p, but always a good idea to round these things up, isn't it? Everything is rounded up. Nothing is rounded down. So we'd call it £1. £1 for every man, woman, child, and item. So if you've got, goods coming into the country, everything that comes into the country will have £1 added to it to assist the royal family and Prince Charles and the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh and Meghan Sparkles and all of them, to assist them in their travels and their clothing range. What do you expect her to do? The Queen, Prince Charles. You know, he can't be seen going to Sports Direct, dear. Can he? Excuse me. That really needs an oil, that does. You can't have the Charles going to Sports Direct for his latest bits and pieces. Right, let's say hello to some of you this morning. Oh, no messages. That's not right. Something's gone amiss there. One moment, please. Oh, that don't look right on there. Has something gone wrong this morning? Let's have a look. I've got lots of green things up there. There they are. Oh, okay. They're mixed in with all those. Now, which way are we going? Down or up? Yesterday we were going from top down, weren't we? Now, on here, I don't know which way these are going now. Who got the first message in this morning? That's why I've always got two here, you see. Is it Jerry? I don't know. No, hang on a minute. Well, according to... I can't see all the messages. I'll have to do it off this. We'll have to do it off this because I can see them on here. Now, that goes... Because we checked that yesterday. It goes from the top down. There we go. Oh, hang on. There, Joey. Hang on. Now, Danny's above Joey. And Danny don't appear on this one. How's that? How strange is that? Okay, I'll take him off the phone for now. Good morning to Danny Gibbs, who, according to my phone, gets the first message in this morning. Morning, Danny. Hope you're well, sir. Hello to Jerry Millen. Morning, Jerry. Oh, you had a clear out of your Facebook friends, didn't you? There you are. Like all the rest of them on there, you know, announcing proudly that if we survived being taken off your friend lists, we were honoured to still be on your friend list. Thank you, Jerry. I mean, that's made my week. It really has. Thank you. I always get so... You're lucky you weren't deleted, actually, Jerry. Usually... When I see that message up there, having a Facebook coal, good luck if you survive it, I usually delete people straight away. So be very careful if you're going to do that, because I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who does. Who do you think you are, culling and telling us we're all grateful that we're still on your friends list? Huh? Good morning to Roy Jar. Morning. Rod Brown. Good morning. Andy. Roxy Solo. Good morning, Roxy-o. Roxy. Love your name, Roxy. The best morning with the best Chris, says Roy Jar. Well, I mean, it's a bit of a choice in the mornings, really. Here in the UK, I don't know where you are, but here in the UK, the choice is some miserable stuck-up cow on BBC News and BBC Two, colour, although she is in colour, you know, who comes in as depressing as hell. Good morning and welcome to the Victoria Derbyshire Show. This morning's latest victims, we are talking about the people facing terrible things in this, that and the other. And then it cuts to the picture of the 4 stalls that are on the stage, and on they come. This morning's latest victims. They're all out there, aren't they? Everyone wants to be a victim. Victim of this, victim of that, victim of depression, victim of some terrible disease, victim of colour. They're all on there in the morning if you want to see them, dear. If you want to be a victim, you need to get on the Victoria Derbyshire Show, because she'll come on in her posh accent and she will do the whole all look concerned thing while she's walking around with her iPad. Walking around looking very, very important with her iPad on BBC News. Or, if you're not keen on that, you can always watch ITV. Lorraine. Make sure you've got the subtitles on for that. No one's got a clue what she's saying. Far too happy in the morning. It's our Lorraine on ITV, TVAM, breakfast time, sunshine is coming up into the sky. So there's that one. Or you can have the 3, but actually I quite like it, the three old girls doing Rip Off Britain. There's Gloria Hunniford, there's Angela Rippon, and another one. I quite like that. Or there's me. I mean, I know what I'd choose. Me, that's correct. Good morning. Hello to Dino. Welcome, Dino. Christina's there in Portsmouth. Morning, Christina. I can't hear sound. Maybe I'll need to install the software update. Yes, Paul. You install something on your computer and I'll install something in you. All right, Paul? Good luck. Morning, Alan Campbell. My best friend from when I was a little boy. There you are. We got advice coming from Royjar to Paul there. Everything good without any problems. You need to fix your software, Paul. Yeah, please have a look at your software. Maybe you could get Hayley Lane to help you. I gather she's very good at software, although she can't get her car open, can she? Hello, Diane Jeb. Essa, morning Essa, Simon Gilman, lovely weather. We've got sunbathing beach, very peaceful. Not sunny here at the moment. Unusually, over the last few days, we've woken up to the most beautiful weather there. Let me see if I can pick this up on the computer now. No. I wonder why I can't see the messages on the computer this morning. Maybe if I refresh that page, would that work? Oh, yes. Oh, there we go. I've got it now. They've come up. I needed to refresh the page. Wasn't that strange? Where are we going now? Yes, it's very overcast this morning. It was a little bit chilly outside this morning. I got up a little bit later than usual, around about 8:20 this morning, and I popped outside to water my hanging baskets. You've got to do those every day, especially in this weather. They're bone dry. So I watered those, and I thought, oh, it's a bit chilly. And it's still overcast at the moment, but not as overcast as it was an hour ago. I think the cloud is thinning out. It's thin. The cloud has clearly been to Slimming World, and it's got thinner. Okay. Good morning to Shane. Hope you're well. Can we have a shout out, please, for protection for the innocent? There we are. A shout out for protection for the innocent. I'm an innocent person. I need to be protected at all times. What is protection for the innocent? I don't know what that is. Good morning to nephew Gary Butler, who's going into tandem selling. He wants to buy a tandem for him and his missus. Not saying nothing, Gary. Not saying nothing, mate. There's going to have to be some hard peddling on that, isn't there? Good morning, nephew Gary. Morning, Colin. Patrick Decoy, you have your shout out. Good morning, Patrick. Roxy, what are your views on hunting teams? Hunting teams. Is that as in hunting animals? Totally disgusting. Totally disgusting hunting animals. What, you mean bears and tigers and elephants and that things? I just awful. Awful. That's my views on hunting. Fox hunting, totally outrageous. No, I don't go along with hunting any animals for any sport or wearing them as shoes or fur coats or anything like that. I indeed have leather shoes. I do have leather shoes, okay? But I haven't bought any for 2 years. They are what are left over since I stopped buying all that stuff. It's actually quite difficult to buy non-leather shoes. Well, I mean, it's not. No, it's not. You can get them all off the internet. It's the styles, you see. It's the styles, the styles. So if you type in things like vegan shoes and stuff like that, then you will find it. I find it absolutely abhorrent that someone would walk around with someone else's coat on, something else's coat on, like furs and things like that. It's just awful. Awful. So that's my views on hunting, okay? Hunting for sport, which is slightly different, I suppose, than hunting for furs and things like, just shooting. I mean, when you see those pictures on people upload to Facebook of some, and they're usually great big fat rich men and pretty girls that are married to them, and sometimes sons and daughters. And you see a picture of them, in the wild somewhere, I don't know, Kenya or somewhere like that, sitting next to a giraffe, which is dead because they've just shot it. Oh, bully-hoo, you're such a man. You're such a man, aren't you, shooting an animal like that? What we want to see is people... This is what we want to see, is people having their guns taken off them and then going to try and kill a lion or something like that. That evens it up a bit more. And if they were to do that, we wouldn't see so many of them on the pictures. So there's my views on hunting, all right? Morning to the lovely Mary. You should have got. I hope you got the show all right this week, Mary, on the reach. Okay. I might, if you don't know already, I do a music and chat show every Monday morning. That's between 10 and 11 o'clock. Reachonair.com. I might start recording it myself and uploading it somewhere separately because you get a bit of glitching on that recording. You've probably noticed that. When I say glitch, like that sometimes, don't you? Well, if I record it this end and upload it to my own server, and you could just click on that and listen to that. That won't have the glitching. So I might start doing that for you, Mari. All right. Andy says, I can now see Prince Charles' reaction to the Sun. He doesn't like the press much. No, and neither do I really. Although, a lot of the stories that I do on the show are from the newspapers. So, we can't really do without them. Good morning, Ray Reynolds. Hi to Ray Reynolds. Carl Shen. Good morning, Carl. Talking of you say hi there. Our friend Danny Davies from Welsh Radio, Splash Radio Wales is going, I can't remember if he's been offered or he's going for a job at another holiday camp as a compere. And it's near where he lives as well. So good luck to Danny. He needs some good luck. He's had very sad news yesterday, unfortunately. His nan died. She had a stroke, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday, and she died overnight, unfortunately. So rest in peace to your nana. No one's more special than nanas, aren't they? Aren't they wonderful people? Nans. Nanas, grandmothers, whatever you want to call them. My sister's a grandmother. She is a wonderful grandmother, my sister. Although she gets very tired. She rings me up, oh, Chris, I'm so tired. I've got no room. The children have all turned up again. And my sister loves being a grandmother. And she's a fantastic grandmother. She really is. She told me off the other day, my sister, because I'd had a bag of crisps, Dan. I don't know about you. Nans are for the grandchildren. They're not so much for the children. Once the grandchildren come along, they don't want to know their children anymore. They want the grandchildren. It's true. Oh, dear. And I did tell you this story the other day. I was sitting in the living room and I had great-nephew George one side, that side, and great-nephew Emily sitting next to me that side, and we're sitting there eating crisps, okay? We're sitting there eating crisps, all three of us. I finished my bag. And my sister's just coming in. I said, I think I get another bag of crisps. And she says, no, you don't. Right, the two children sitting either side, are sitting either side. And we're watching cartoons on the telly, a Lego cartoon, which was quite good, actually. We're all sitting there watching that. And I said, what? She said, no, you're only having one bag. If you take one after the other. And she said, quietly looking at me, like the children couldn't hear. If you take another one, that teaches them bad things that they can have one after the other. Oh, okay, sis, right? So once again, the children are still watching the telly, and my sister's left the room and closed the door. And Emily's jumped up. Do you want us to sneak you another bag of crisps, Chris? Yes! All on my side. I'm a Funcle. That's what I am, a Funcle. A fun uncle. So nans are very, very special in people's lives, Danny. I don't know if you're with us this morning or not, but I certainly remember my nan, Nanny Hayes. She was a little, not big, not fat, but big. She was a little lady, Nanny Hayes. She was my mum's mum. She lived in Peckham. I always remember going to her house as a child. It was very dark. It was very dark in her flat. She lived in, what's the name of the block now? Olsen House or something. It's somewhere in Peckham anyway. It's opposite. It's still there, actually. Her flat is still there. It was quite dark in there. She had a balcony. And she used to cook us these chips. And I laughed my nan's chips. She used them in a frying pan. And it would be more like crisps, like thick crisps rather than chips. Actually, I must try and do those myself. And she'd cut the potato quite thick, but not as chips, just sliced like that. And then she put them in the frying pan and fry them like that. And we used to have those, and they were absolutely delicious. Delicious. Really were. And then there was Nanny Ryan, and she was like a staunch Roman Irish Catholic. She came over from Ireland. She was my dad's mum. And she was always in the church. She went to Mass every day. St. Joseph's Church in Roehampton. And Nan sometimes, and this is what I mean by once grandchildren come along, that's it. The children are pushed out of the way. They are. And my Nan, we'd be in the living room, okay? Mum would leave the room, and then she'd put her hand in your handbag, and she'd say, here, I want you to have this. Don't tell your mother. And she'd give me 10 pence or something like that. Oh, no, Nan, I can't. Go on, take it. Don't tell your mother. Don't tell your mother. And she put this in my hand. And she always had in her handbag a bar of Fry's chocolate cream. Oh, have you had that? Oh, I haven't had that for years. I might go and buy myself one today. Shall I? Shall I treat myself to a bar of Fry's chocolate cream? I always wanted them to bring out an orange cream because they're my favourite chocolates. You know, in Quality Street and Roses and things like that, my favourite chocolates are number 1, the orange creams, number 2, the strawberry creams, and number 3, fudge. Oh, I do like a fudge. A finger of fudge is all enough to stick it. Yep. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm really sorry if you're watching on YouTube or Periscope, I haven't fired up your chat box. So if you've sent a message, it won't have come to me now. Just a minute. I'll open it now. I completely forgot to start that up this morning. I've done that before, haven't I? Right, hang on a minute. There you go. That's up there now. So listen, if you've sent a message, YouTube, Periscope, what's the other one? Can't remember the other one. If you sent a message other than on Facebook or text message, I won't have got it. If you send it now, I'll get it. It's up there running. It won't go backwards. Do you see what I mean? Oh, what's happening there? Oh, okay. There's a news flash coming in. Oh, we're very busy. It's a hive of activity, this studio, you know. So sorry about that. If you've typed a YouTube message or a Periscope message, type it again and I'll get it now. Roxio says, I need more money. Well, good luck. Go and get another job then, darling. Go and get another. There was another bloke on there the other day asking for money. He got blocked very quickly, so do be careful. All right. Hello to Patrick Decoy. Did I read your shout out or is that another one? Is that another person? Good morning, Patrick. Welcome to the show. Scherzerman, morning to you. Gary Butler indeed says, I need a software upgrade. I certainly do. This one's looking a bit old now. I think I need a new... What's the thing at the front of computers? I need a new Oh, God, what's that called? I need a new interface, don't I? I need a younger interface. That's what I need. Morning to SOS Gregorian, who's in Armenia. 39 degrees there at the moment and getting hotter. Sher's in Pakistan. Welcome, Sher. Hello to the lovely Alan Bailey, who travels all over the country, actually, and does the most wonderful pictures, Alan. You really do. You're actually very similar to me. I love scenery. I love going out and walking. I've got a forest around here, Alan. I don't know if I told you. Sorry, I'm not inviting you to walk, into a darkened forest with me or anything like that. Don't worry, Alan. Don't worry. But I love scenery, Alan. I love beautiful country and seaside views. I must go to the seaside soon. Actually, hopefully before the... When's the school holidays, anyone? Who's got children? Where's the school holidays? Danny says, I'm sure I had the first Facebook message. Did you? I don't know. It kind of went a bit wrong on there earlier. Let's just read out some text messages as well. Good morning to Rob in the Wirral. Rob in the Wirral. Good morning, Rob, who says, we call those types of chip potatoes scallops. Oh, right. I didn't know that. So my nan used to do a scallops, did she? Oh, they were lovely. Slicing the potatoes and then in the frying pan. Of course, done in cooking or something that's they say is really bad for you now. I mean, I could cut them like that and put them in the oven with my fry light on, couldn't they? And they would become Slimmer's World scallops. Slimmer's World. I'm going to try those, yeah. Morning, Maureen. Hello, you beautiful lady. Good morning, Maureen. Good news. I've got your song that you asked for. Where is it now? One moment, please. What was the song? There we are. You got your own folder on my computer now, Maureen, where I keep all these little bits and pieces. Maureen asked me to get for her Bitty McLean, It Keeps Raining. Couldn't find the other version, so it's the Bitty McLean one you've got. So if you're in, I don't know if you're in Friday or definitely Monday, but it'll be there tomorrow. It'll be there on Friday, okay? So I've got that for you, Maureen. All right? And good morning. Who's this here? Can we have a shout out for protection for the innocents? Oh, the online paedophile hunters. Yeah, I was watching those. Yes. Now, I've got to tell you these. That's like a group, and it's on the Facebook. I don't know how... Oh, I can't remember what they're exactly called now. But what they do is pretend to be little children. like, when I say little, I don't mean like 5 years old, sort of 13, 14, 15. You know, generally, I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen anyone pretending to be a little boy, but certainly little girls. And what they do is they seek out. I don't know how they do it now. No, I think no. Actually, I can't say because I don't know how they do it. But anyway, somehow communication starts between these people pretending to be a child, like, 13, well, 12, 13, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, someone under the age of, is it 18 or 16? I think 18 probably. Well, it could be 16. Doesn't matter. We'll call it 18. They pretend to be someone under the age of 18. And then somehow they wait for a paedophile to contact them, and then they keep messaging. And throughout the conversation, they make it very clear how old they are supposed to be. Shall we say 14? Okay? And then they arrange to meet the person. The person turns up, the paedophile person, and then they go and meet them with a camera and all this business. I gather while they're on their way there, then someone calls the police, and then they start interviewing the person. Yeah, the paedophile, what are they called now? Online paedophile hunters. Okay, so thank you very much. Oh, by the way, gang, if you're sending it, so that's wanted a shout out for that, which I think that's a great job, actually. That's a great job they do. I really do. Because no one else does anything, do they? You know, it's like a lot of these things now. Robberies or anything. You get your house robbed tonight, no one's going to turn up tomorrow. Oh, can we take a list of all the things? They just haven't got the time to do it anymore. You know, I can see other things going like this as well, can't you? Muggings in the street. You know, who's catching these blasted muggers? And we've got the people, the protection for the innocent people. They're going after these people now. Although there's never any physical violence. I do notice that. And they upload these videos. I think it's an excellent idea. I really do. You know, can I just ask you, if you send like a text message, like via the phone, as you can see, the text message is up there, boys and girls. All right, which is 07551 259 675. If you send a text message and you've never sent one before, can you just put your name and where you are, not the exact address, but where you are. Say, Chris Bracknell. If you could put your name and where you are there, and then once I've had it once, what I do is I put you into the system, so whenever you text a message after that, I know who you are, because it's nice to know who you're talking to. All right. Jerry says, I can never remove you off my friends list. Oh, Jerry, I am touched. I'd like to be touched by someone. It's been a few years, to be honest, Jerry, but yes, I am touched. Over on YouTube, good morning, Clare. Morning, Clare. Hello to Paul Mosley. Sorry, he can't get the stuff. There's actually a lot to do before a show starts. There's an awful lot to do. Do you want to know how it works? So I come in here. If they come over here and they take all our jobs now, I come in here and I literally, the first thing I do is turn on my computers, right? This is the exact order things happen, right? I come in here and I turn on my computers. While they're firing up, I switch on the mirror ball. I then turn on the two. I've got two big lights in here. You might be able to see one of them on there. 1 minute. Number 2. Try that. Yes, you can. There. There's one up there, and there's also one up the other side that you can't see there. All right. You may have noticed I've moved the camera. We're going to keep moving this camera now to different places. Because quite frankly, every time I turn my eye, I get a bad neck while I'm doing it. Never mind. So I turn on the lights. By the time the lights and the mirror ball are revolving, the computers are fired up and they're asking for the password. So I put the password in, which is... You don't think I'm going to tell you that, do you? So the password goes in, right? Then the computer fires up its stuff. And while I'm doing it, I start writing down things that I've done since we last spoke. There is my list of things that we've done since I last spoke, okay? That's it, and that's all it is. That is the sort of what I've been doing preparation. When I've done that, I then go back onto my computer and I start selecting news stories that I may or may not use. I always have far too many news stories. Always. There are this morning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 news stories in front of me. I'll be lucky if I do 2 of them. But I've always got them there to fall back on if something happens. Okay, so that's all fired up. Once I've got everything ready, I then type up onto Facebook, hello, showtime this morning, what was it, 9:40, okay? So I've done that, and that usually happens round about 15 minutes before I start. Then I hit the send button and it appears on Facebook, show starts in 15 minutes. Sometimes people put a little message on there that they want to put on there, and then that's all well and good. Then I come back on to this computer in front of me, which is the broadcast computer. I fire up the video software, right? So that comes up. Usually it's all working. Sometimes I then check the 3 cameras are working, because there's 3 cameras in here. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So there's 3 cameras in here. They are webcams. They are simply webcams. Available from anything from sort of 20 quid to sort of 80 quid on Amazon. In fact, I don't think there's a camera in here that's more than 30 quid now. Okay? But that's probably the general price of what they are. They're all about £30 each. So there's 3 cameras in here. Sometimes they don't work. One of them doesn't work. And the answer to that is simply to restart the machine. So I might have to wait for that. That's a rare thing. But now and again, one of them isn't working. So I simply restart and then it seems to start working. Right? I then go on the broadcast computer and I put the right date in. I make sure I put the new date in there. Then I go onto this, right? And I change the today's show start time that's at the bottom. And then that will start going around and start playing out the opening film, which I'll do in a second. There you go. And that starts that off. That's wrong, isn't it? There we are. So that starts running. No, I don't start it yet. So I got that wrong. So I changed the lettering at the bottom there. Then I fire up Restream. Now, Restream is the server that I send the show to. Okay? And then from Restream, it goes to Periscope, YouTube, Vaughan Live, Stream Me, YouNow, YouTube, and Facebook. And another one. I can't remember what the other one is. So that's then standing by, right? Then I have to fire up Facebook Live and create a live stream. I then put in the title, United Kingdom Talk Live, Thursday the 28th of June 2018. 11? I've gone back 5 years. That's when I looked younger. And then that's all ready. I then have to click Start Streaming on the broadcast computer. And then start streaming on the Facebook Live thing. I wait for the picture to come up, which takes about 10 seconds, and then it just starts. That's what I have to do in the morning. Now, I've already told you I've forgotten to fire up the chat box. At that point, I then fire up the chat box. Okay? Sometimes I forget something, but there you go. That's how it is. So that is what I do before the show starts. Now, that sounds very laborious. In actual fact, all that takes about getting all the show, once all the news stories and everything's ready, the rest of it takes about 3 minutes. All that you can do in 3 minutes. But it's a lot to remember, okay? So that's how it works. Claire is still after the keyring. There's no keyrings yet, Claire. I keep telling you, darling. No keyrings. Claire says perhaps the one who's got first message in by the end of the year might get a prize. You might, Claire. Keep trying, darling. This is more work than the Victoria Derbyshire show. It absolutely is. There's no producers in here. It's just me. That's it. Me. I've got to remember all this stuff. Hello to Luke from Peterborough. Hello, Luke. My favourite chocolate is Fries as well. Fries, chocolate delights. Do you remember the advert? Oh, I love the cream in the middle. It was beautiful. Joey says I'm the best talk show ever. Do you know what? I agree with you, Joey. I am. Hello, Med Sefat Muds. Hi to you. Paul Gallagher, morning to you. And there we are. I think that's all the messages we've got this morning. There we are. Have we read everyone else? Yes, we've read everything out now. Good. So we can get on with it now, can't we? Yesterday, what happened yesterday? Let me have a look here. I rang my sister Sharon yesterday. Remember I said I was going to ring her because I'd shouted at her Monday down the phone. I was so fed up. I was really fed up on Monday. This caravan thing hadn't gone right at all. Funnily enough, if you were watching the show yesterday, I don't want to read the story again because it's a bit long. But if you're watching the show yesterday, I now have to tell you that the lady selling the caravan has now rang me twice. This was the one that took so long to reply to my messages on Monday. You see, I get to a point where I'm basically really pissed off, right, with something. In this case, it was caravan buying and the lack of response coming back the other way. And once I've got to that level, I cut it off, right? I was saying this to my mate the other week. You know, when something annoys me, when something annoys me, it gets to the point where I'm so angry, that's it, and then I cut it off. And once I've cut something off, there's no going back, really. I've done it with people before. I've done it with people. I've put up with people, and you've probably done this yourself, for years and years and years. And suddenly something happens, I've had, right, that's enough. I've had enough of that, gone. And I cut them out. I do this with things, whatever. So on a Monday, I waited and waited and waited for these return calls, and they didn't happen. Just excuses by text message. So I got to the point, right, I've had enough of that, and I cut it off. And then I think quite a long time passed, and then the texts start coming, don't they? And the phone calls. You know, oh, hello, it's so-and-so, just returning your call. What, 10 hours later, love? Yeah, you're trying to sell something. You had a buyer. You've let me go. No, we can't be bothered with people like this. Get on my nerves. So that's what happened there. All right, that's what happened there. So my sister rung up and I told her the story of what had been going on. And I shouted at her down the phone. I was so disappointed. Of course, you put the phone down on your dear sister. And I felt so guilty. So yesterday I did say I was going to ring her after the show. And indeed I did. And that was all nicely sorted out. Plus, she sent me back I left my electric toothbrush up at her house. I left my electric toothbrush up there at the weekend, which was terrible. I got back here Sunday night, late Sunday night, around about 11:30 Sunday night. No toothbrush. I had to go to bed without cleaning my teeth. How disgusting is that? In the morning, couldn't clean my teeth. So I went up to Sainsbury's and I bought another one. Which actually it's in the bathroom. Another electric toothbrush. Let me tell you, it's nowhere near as good as the one I left up my sister's. Fortunately, when I rang her yesterday, she says, oh, hello. She says, I'm just in the post office now posting off your toothbrush. So that's good. Because that was an expensive one, £40. Well, that's expensive to me. I mean, they have got toothbrushes in Sainsbury's for like 200 quid. Who spends... Come on, is there any of you that spend £200 on a blooming toothbrush? You must be off your heads. 200 quid? I paid 40 quid for my expensive one. I think that's enough to spend on a toothbrush. The one I bought up Sainsbury's at the weekend was 15 quid. It's nowhere near as good. I mean, it's a bit flimsy, to be honest. The brushing, it don't seem to be scraping away at my gut. Well, probably better for me, actually. The dentist told me, I've got to make an appointment with the dentist. He told me last time I was brushing my teeth too hard. Which is a bit well. Clare reckons you're well quit of that caravan seller. The right deal will come along eventually. Just keep looking. I know the right deal, Clare. Clare, I know where I want to be. And I know the sort of thing I want. It just means I'm going to have to spend double what I wanted to spend. And I don't have it. So I'm going to save. I don't know if you were with us yesterday, but you can actually get the money I would want to buy this. I could actually loan that over a year. And the rate of interest is so low. You wouldn't be paying much in interest. But no, I was always taught to save up for things. My father told me to save up for things. I generally don't borrow money. Well, I don't. I don't borrow money only if for like a house or a car. That's the only way I would borrow money. People borrow money left, right and centre, don't they, for holidays, for Christmas, this, that and the other. No, I don't. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. So my father always taught me to save up for things, and so that's what I will do. And by the end of the year, I will have enough money to do exactly what I want, and that's it really. Do you know? I don't know if these messages have got stuck again. I don't know what's going on with this Facebook messaging thing this morning. Shall I try refreshing it again and see what happens? Or maybe they're are they on there? Oop. I'm really sorry, gang. I seem to have a little bit of a problem with the Facebook messages this morning. There we go. That looks better now. Oh, gosh. Oh, there's a load there, isn't there now? Here we are. Where are we now? How far did we get? I don't know where we are. Oh, there we are. Danny Gibbs. I couldn't agree more with your hunting comment. I think it's awful. People hunting little animals and that sort of thing. Dreadful. Good morning, Kelly Kim, who's doing sports day in the park with the children. Sports day. Oh, those words fill me with horror, Kelly Kim. I hated sports day. I hated doing sports at school, and I can't be. There's lots of other kids like it. You must know the people. Kelly Kim works at a school. You must know the kids who hate sports. Do you force them to do it? They don't want to do it. They just want to sit there and eat another donut. No, I hate it. She says, I'm listening to you while I'm the marker for the 1 mile run. Is that right? Ray Reynolds, how exciting. ITV's coverage of the football tonight from 6:15 until 9:15, followed by a further whole hour of Good Evening Britain with Piers Boring Morgan and Susanna Reid talking about football. Switch off. Yeah, I agree. Switch off. Switch off very quickly. Mari, good. She's watching it later. Good luck with the caravan hunting. Thank you very much. Mary is there. Mary, non-Irish Mary from Ireland. Hola guapos. Why guapas? Now, I don't know what that means. I hope I haven't just sworn in another language, have I? No. Christina, fudge and Terry's chocolate. Or not Terry's chocolate orange. Don't like that. No, I like the orange creams. I'm not keen on Terry's chocolate orange. I find that really sickly. All comes out at Christmas, doesn't it? Do you remember the advert? Tap it, unwrap it, and this thing, it never fell apart, though, like it did in the advert, did it? You'd always have to pull it apart. I was always disappointed in that as a child. You'd tap this on the advert, this Terry's chocolate orange, it would say, tap it, unwrap it. And you'd tap it and you'd unwrap it, and it would still all be joined together. Most disappointing, it really was. Mari, Fry's doesn't exist anymore. Oh, I didn't know that. The Fry's factory near Bristol has been made into apartments. Oh, how disappointing. So there's no more Fry's chocolate cream? I used to love that. Morning, Carl Rex Mawson. Morning, Carl. Happy birthday today to Michael Nugent. Is that how you say it? Nugent, who is Mary's son. Mary's boy child, Michael, wasn't born on Christmas Day. Happy birthday, Michael. He must be 18, 17, 18, something like that. Happy birthday, Michael. I hope Mother has purchased you a very expensive present. Yes. Andy, Kelly Kim, you was amazing at the karaoke on Monday. Kelly Kim was at the karaoke on Monday. Nice to have a little bit of beauty on there, as well as myself, as you well know. Good morning to D Grist. Morning to D Grist. Christina, South Coast Seaside show would be an idea. I live 5-minute walk to the beach here, and myself and your Isle of Wight listeners would love it. A South Coast Seaside show. Do you remember Seaside Special? Baby, get down, come on down to the summertime city. Come on. Seaside Special was an excellent variety show that was on BBC One, Colour, in the 1970s. And what they did was get a big top, like a circus place, you know, and they do this variety show in there, singers and DJs and people like that, and they would show it on the telly on a Saturday night. Great show, hosted by the greats of Tony Blackburn, David Hamilton, possibly Dave Lee Travis. I think it was mainly Tony Blackburn and David Hamilton. They're the ones that stick in my head, but that was great, that was. Degrist, it is 16. Is it 16 was the age I was looking for when we were talking about the paedophile hunters. Thank you. Your setup reminds us of the old BBC broom cupboard. Oh, this is probably bigger than the broom cupboard, to be honest. All right. Hello to Mumtaz. Morning to Mumtaz. Rob says, my favourite chocolate is Cadbury's Dairy Milk. Oh, well, that used to be my favourite, Cadbury's Dairy Milk, and then it changed to Galaxy. The Cadbury's, the taste changed. I don't know what they did to it, but the taste changed. Now, Cadbury's, I remember seeing this story, and Cadbury's said that they hadn't changed the recipe, but they had changed the shape of the chocolate. And indeed, that was for all to see. You could see that they changed the shape. Now, whether the fact that they changed the shape changed the taste a bit to our taste buds is a bit odd, a bit beyond me. But certainly it became a different taste, and I went on to Galaxy. Rob was... where are we? Did you ever have a CB radio? If so, what was your handle? Yes, I did, and my handle was Matchbox. My handle on the CB radio was Matchbox. My mate bought me another CB radio just about 4 years ago, and I had an aerial man come round and put up a proper, the half wave aerial on the side of the house, FM. And I switched it on. I was so excited, and it was nothing like CB was back in the 80s. There was hardly anyone on there, and those that were on there seemed to have known each other for some time, and it came across as like they didn't really want to talk to you. Do you know what I mean? They kind of got their own little group in, and they didn't really want to talk to you. So that's how it came across. But I do have a CB radio in my cupboard, and I was disappointed when I set it up. So in the end, I just took it all apart again, and I thought, well, that's gone, done and dusted, really. But CB radios. I remember buying my first CB radio. Oh, it was all illegal then. It was all on AM. Before the FM come, this would be back early 80s. And I was... we went round to this person's house, which was in Southfields, and it was all very cloak and dagger. I went in there and we got your CB radio. There it is. It's 50 quid, mate. And he handed over the money, and he gave you the box, and we left, under darkened cover. I set it up, and there I was on the CB radio. And I still think it's blooming clever. Even like with a mobile phone now, you can talk to someone on this, and there's no wires or anything. Well, of course, CB radio, very similar. And I think the mobile phone killed off CB radio. And it's a great shame, because it was a great way of meeting people, and you had the eyeballs and all that. The 70s stuff, sorry, just a moment now. Let's have a look there. Claire says, only spend what you can afford to lose if things go wrong, which they do sometimes with caravans. Yes, there you go. And if you save up the money and it goes wrong, then you've only lost what you paid out. There's nothing in the future to keep paying, which you haven't actually got. So there we are. Paul, Fry's does exist. The mint one I bought last week. Oh, I've got to go and try and find some, Paul. Fry's Chocolate Delight. Claire, Summertime Special. Lovely show. It was called Seaside Special. Summertime Special was the name of the song. Okay? So Seaside Special, which you can find some of those on YouTube. Generally the clips, I think... On YouTube, there is one whole show which is of dubious quality, but nevertheless, it's on there if you want to watch it. I've watched it. It's got people like the 3 Degrees on it. And Tony Blackburn's there. And there's one scene, if you find it on there, where they do a Seaside Special on a boat. And it is hilarious. It's hilarious. You've got all the dancers on the boat in their white flares, and the boys and the girls, and they're just all over the place. Absolutely hilarious. Claire says the 70s stuff was the best. Nothing like it. Oh, I agree. Paul, my aunt used to work at Cadbury's in Bourneville in Birmingham. In the 1980s, we used to get so much free chocolate. You lucky thing. But dark chocolate never did it for me. I never really liked the dark chocolate. Those messages are stuck again, you know. Oh dear, I may well be missing some of these. I don't know why this is doing this morning. One of those things. Good morning to Joseph Schoenbarger. Morning, Joseph. Shane Cameron. Jenny. Jalal from Pakistan, welcome to the show. It's all about, it's quite light-hearted, this programme. I don't really do serious stuff very often at all. Now and again, we might touch on something. We're doing the paedophile hunters earlier. We just had a little quick touch on that, you know what I mean? But generally, it's fairly light-hearted. Andy used to love Seaside Special. I loved it. It was just wonderful and happy and all musical and all that, wasn't it? Morning, Russ. Morning, Russ. Mumtaz. Morning to Mumtaz as well. Good. So, as I say, I spoke to my sister yesterday. I said sorry for ever shouting down. I was tempted to send her some flowers, but I've decided on this occasion, no. Because she only had some a few months ago from me. There we are. So I got that toothbrush from Sainsbury's, the £15 one. Useless. It's useless. They're not doing well at all, are they? According to the news the other day I read somewhere, the Sainsbury's aren't doing well. Out of all the big stores, Sainsbury's are not doing well. And I'm not a fan of it. I've got to tell you, I find the staff miserable, yet robotically nice. When I say robotically nice, they're like robots when they talk to you. Hello, how are you today? What have you been doing? Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Hello, how are you today? What have you been doing? Thanks very much. They're a bit like that. Yeah? You go to Waitrose, and I have to say Aldi as well. I have to say Aldi as well. Now, Aldi staff haven't... they work their socks off in there. If you want to work hard and be rewarded for it, it would seem, go and work at Aldi. You won't be clock watching. There's no time to do that, mate. They work blooming hard in there. And they're always doing something. They don't really have that much time to talk to you. But at the till, while they're doing their beep, 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 while they're doing their thing, you might strike up a mini conversation with them. But as soon as you're finished, they do want you out of the way so they can serve the next customer. I suppose that's how they keep the prices low. So they do what they do in there. When they first came here, I was not a fan. I was not a fan at all, but I've started going in there. My God, it's cheap. It's so cheap. An example would be fat-free yogurt, which in there is like the thick one. What's that now? Greek fat-free yogurt in there is 68 pence. Everywhere else, it's about £1. That's just one example, you see. So if every time you're buying an item, it's like 30 or 40 pence difference, wow, that's a big saving. Especially if you've got a family or something like that, Mum, dad, or whatever, 3 children. That's a huge saving when they go in Aldi. And it gets packed in there and the queues get long, but the queues move fairly quickly. Waitrose, you go in there, you want a long conversation with a member of the staff in a supermarket, go into Waitrose. They've always got time to talk to you. They are always very nice and natural. And it seems that they haven't been taught how to talk to people. They just can. They can talk to people like you and I are talking together this morning. There's no fakeness. So that works as well in there. Tesco's, I don't really go in Tesco's much. I only go in the little Tesco's within an Esso garage, which is in Barnes sometimes on the way home. As you know, there's some bloke on the till there. He's not really bothered what's going on. He's a bit miserable as well. But don't really get any customers or anything in there either at the same time as you're in there, Sainsbury's, miserable. Miserable. The staff are miserable. The customers that they attract are miserable. And it's just an unpleasant experience in Sainsbury's. Now, my mum used to swear by Sainsbury's. It's the only place she used to do her shopping in. Mind you, in those days, there wasn't in the 1970s, there wasn't a large selection of places. I remember going in the Sainsbury's when we lived in Peckham up to 1969. We used to go into Sainsbury's there. There was no self-service. Oh, no. That you'd walk in, and from what I can remember, there'd be shelves all around it. So if it was like a horseshoe, yeah? So there were shelves all around the outside, okay? In front of the shelves were members of staff dotted all around, okay? And a counter made of marble going all the way around, right? And then in the middle, there was like a little bit in the middle where, again, I think there was staff in the middle, and they too were surrounded by like a counter. I'm not sure the middle bit, but definitely round the outside. Okay, you could not get to the products. So each section, you might have your tinned vegetables. Or can I have 2 tins of beans, please? Yep, okay, there we are. That's 10 pence, please. And you give them the 10 pence. Then you move on to the fruit and veg, perhaps. Or can I have some bananas, please? And it's thank you very much. And each item, and then you might get a few slices of bacon. Nothing wrapped in plastic. No plastic. Nothing wrapped in plastic. I'll have 3 slices of bacon, please. And she'd get this big bit of meat and shove it on the machine. Zzz, and slices would come off. Just put it in a bit of paper, and that's thank you very much. That's 3 pence, please, or something like that. And then to the bakery, 2 loaves of bread, please. Nothing could be nicked. You didn't nick anything because you couldn't get to anything. Besides, people didn't nick stuff then. That was Sainsbury's then. And now, it's awful. And some Sainsbury's are even worse than others. Have you ever been in the one in Islington? Oh, it's frightening in there. The people walking around in there, dear. Awful. I hate Sainsbury's. And they're not doing well. And I kind of get that. I do get that. What's your favourite supermarket, incidentally? Any of yours, do you go to supermarkets very often? What's your favourite one? My favourite one is Waitrose, but as I say, the money saved when you go to somewhere like Aldi or places like that is quite substantial. It can't be sniffed at. Indeed, Joseph says we love the people at Aldi. Not. Oh, you got Aldi. Perhaps is that the same place? Do you mean Aldi? A-L-D-I, you spell it. That's that might be just the way you spelt it there. I don't know. Andy says my messages have also been sticking for 3 days. I have to keep refreshing. Yeah, something going on with these messages this morning. Strange. Claire, my gran worked in a biscuit factory. Used to bring big boxes of broken biscuits home. Oh, we used to get those in the Scouts. Our scout leader I don't know where he found them, but he used to find big boxes of broken biscuits that would always end up on scout camp and places like that. And they were dirt cheap. And I think you can still get broken biscuits. Look on the internet. Probably order yourself a box of broken biscuits or something like that. All right? Okay, so that was Sainsbury's yesterday. I cycled to have my hair cut. My favourite lady was off again. I thought I'd change the day. I might catch her. My favourite lady who cuts my hair wasn't there, so the boy did it again. Very hot in there, I have to say, in the hairdressers, yeah. Apparently, the Governor Mac doesn't like to use the air conditioning because he uses so much electric. What's the point of having it getting... the sun's come out. I thought it would. The sun has come out today. Yes, it has indeed. It's come out now. The sun is out. Oh, which means I'm going to go soon anyway, because I've got to walk up to... What have I got to do? I've got to go into town, get some blueberries, and then go swimming. That's what I'm doing today. There we are. So I had my hair cut last night. A lovely cycle yesterday in the weather. And there was occasionally there was a cold blast of wind. Cool blast of wind. As I was coming home yesterday. Took me ages to get home because I kept stopping and talking to people. I like to talk to people when I'm out and about. Not usually while I'm at work. A lot of people, they try nicely, kindly, some people try and talk to me while we're having a karaoke night, and it's just impossible. Whether you're setting up or putting stuff away or in the middle of a karaoke show, and people sometimes come to the front of the stage and they want to have a conversation, or even better than that, nice people. I might leave the stage if I'm doing a karaoke and a walk round and collect pens or go to the toilet, and then you might get a tug on the arm of someone who wants to have a conversation with you, and you start the conversation and then the song and you're not on the stage, and then there's a gap. I hate gaps. Very unprofessional. So sometimes I'm running around in there and it's just impossible to have a whole conversation. You might be able to have a few words with people now and again, but then the stories, they've got a story to tell, and you haven't. And I do feel so rude sometimes, but you have to say no. You've got to say no. Look, if I stop and talk to you, whether I'm halfway through the show or packing away, It's just impossible because if I start having a conversation, I can't get on with my job. I'm paid to be there between then and then, and I must finish by then, and I must start then. I'm really strict with time on that. Rob says, what do you think of the 3-2-1 and Dusty Bin show? I couldn't stand it. 3-2-1. 3-2-1. My nan, we met Ted Rogers because my nan won the Daily Mirror bingo years and years ago. This was in the 80s. She won £130,000. Yeah, and she was the biggest bingo winner, my nan. It was in the Daily Mirror. Laughing Linda, they called her. She's not with us anymore, my nan, unfortunately. And as part of the prize, we went to have lunch on the top floor of the Café Royale. Oh, yes. Very good indeed, the Café Royale. Luke says you can still get Fry's chocolate cream here. Someone else saying that now, so I might have that. Claire, no biscuits at the moment. Got my half-stone certificate at Slimming World last night. Congratulations, Claire. Half a stone lost at Slimming World. Oh, yes. Well done, Claire. Well done. Blooming excellent. Did you set yourself a target at all, Claire? How much do you want to lose altogether, as a matter of interest? It's slow going is best. Believe me. Doing it slowly. Remember, Claire, Snow always wins. Snow always wins, okay? Paul says, I'm like you. Aldi and Lidl are very good value. We don't have many Waitrose up here. Now, we've got a Lidl here in Crowthorne, which I haven't been to yet. And I keep meaning to go there, down to Crowthorne. I think I'll just have to keep refreshing that particular page to get that. Oh, Joseph loves it when I sing. Do you really? What would you like me to sing today? Do you want me to finish off with a song today? Roxy, my local market still sells boxes of broken biscuits. Nothing wrong with broken biscuits. They're just nice, aren't they? We like broken biscuits. Food here has been in plastic since 1968. Yeah, I know what you mean. Have you seen a lot of these nature programs on the telly? And they're all going on about this plastic, and it's frightening, really, when you see the oceans and the bottoms of the oceans, just endless plastic bottles. And funnily enough, I was thinking about that yesterday, and I was walking back from a swimming pool. I went late swimming yesterday as well. I went late night swimming. I say late night, about 8:45 I got in there, and I was walking back, and my route takes me past Aldi if I want it to go that way. So I walked past Aldi, and I looked in the window, and I stopped. And the amount of plastic that you can see sitting on any supermarket shelf, and I looked in plastic bottles, people buying endless bottles of plastic bottles of water. I mean, why? Why do you buy this stuff? Why do people buy it? I mean, do you not think the water, certainly here in the UK, I don't know if you're in another country, it's probably a different case altogether. But even so, you know, if you want to buy water, why haven't we got it in glass bottles that they can refill at the supermarket or something like that? It's all very well. I mean, it's ridiculous, really. The government doing this, that and the other about recycling and, you know, we mustn't chuck our plastic away. Well, why even give it to us in the first place? They're tackling all this wrong. You've got to go to water companies and saying, you're not allowed to sell water in plastic bottles anymore. End of. Put them in glass bottles like milk used to. It used to work. It worked for milk. Why not water? The milk used to come, a man would deliver it in glass bottles. You would use the bottle, quickly wash it out under the tap and send it back to the milkman, where it would be washed again in some machine, sterilised and used again and again and again. And it was funny. Over the years, the styles of the milk bottles changed. And the logos on the side. And I remember as a child, I said, oh, Mum, look, that's an old bottle there. Because you'd recognise the old logo that was on there of a bottle that had clearly lasted for years and years and years. Why can't we do the same with water? Why can't we do the same with that? You know, so you'd buy your water in the bottles. I don't know. Perhaps there'd be a big tap in the supermarket or something like that. Or you'd return it. Well, it did happen with other stuff. Soft drinks. Lemonade, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Tizer. All came in glass bottles. You drink the thing, you take the bottle back, you get another one. That used to work. We're tackling all this wrong. You need to go to the source. The people that are filling up the blooming plastic bottles in the first place need to be told, by 2 years' time, you will stop using, we're not having any more plastic bottles. You're going to start using glass bottles. That's it. Deal with it. That's how to deal with it. All this fannying about, banning the occasional plastic straw or earbuds or something like that, that's not good enough, is it? You've got to do more than that. So stupid. I don't understand why they haven't done that. And it's alike with a lot of things. Now, I see a story in the Independent this morning. And it was about how the UK are going to miss their anti-climate targets or climate targets, something like that. Right? We're going to ban diesels by 2030. Well, why are we waiting 12 years? Okay, I get the fact that there are people that have just... I mean, why are we still selling diesel cars then now? You should have stopped selling them. That might damage business. Oh, better to damage a business or two than have the world end, surely. New houses. Why are not new houses forced to have solar panels put on the roof? In fact, there is a roof tile, okay? There is a roof tile that is stronger probably than the tiles on your roof that is solar generating. You simply replace... Well, you wouldn't. If it's a new house, you would build the new house with the solar tiles on the roofs. And other houses that are suitable, not all houses, unfortunately, my house isn't suitable for this because I'm surrounded by trees. But there are many houses, example in Lincolnshire, and I've seen this in Lincolnshire, where they have their own little windmill on the side of the house, either on the side of the house or on a pole there. Why aren't new properties forced to have some of these things? No, but they're not. I don't understand why that doesn't happen. But we just don't move fast enough. Oh, yes, we're banning diesel cars in 15 years' time. Too late, mate. We're all suffering then. People like you and me won't suffer, probably. It's your grandchildren and your grandchildren and their children that are going to have to, try and cope with all this rubbish. Rob, I can remember the Alpine Pop van. Same exchange glass bottles. Was that a little van that used to come? Yes. Yeah, a van used to come round with bottles of soft drinks on, didn't it? I remember that. Broken biscuits used to be 3p a ton. Now they repackage them and they cost a fortune. Now they probably repackage them in Marks and Spencer's, didn't they? Authentic broken biscuits from the UK. £5 for 3 pieces. You're so right, Rob. What was it that was selling in Marks and Spencer's a while ago? Cauliflower steaks. And oh my God, these were like £2.50. And what they'd done is got a decent cauliflower and cut it in slices and sold it as cauliflower steaks with a bit of plastic wrapped around it. £2.50, please. Mugs are buying this stuff. They don't think of going down to, the supermarket, whatever one they are, Aldi, Sainsbury's, whatever, and buying a cauliflower and slicing it. No, they buy the pre-packaged one in Marks and Spencer's for £2.50. Stupid people. Paul, glass pop from the pop man. Yeah, that used to happen. Clare, bring back glass bottles, get rid of the plastic. They've got to do it. Very true, Chris, about the recycling. It was all profit related. We went to plastic disgrace. I remember when BBC Two Colour were testing the colour stuff machines that they had to bring colour television to you. Right, they were testing all this stuff, and they used to show these colour films, a colour trade test film. And one of them was about Shell, and it was about plastics. Plastic has just been kind of invented or discovered, whatever you want to say. And it was all about the plastic. Claire, 1 stone, £2 is my target, so you're nearly halfway there. Well done, darling. Well done. Remember, Claire, you don't need to go mad. If you was to lose £0.5 a week in a year, that's 2 stone. That's a lot. Paul, Amazon are the worst culprits, all that wasted packaging, but we all buy from them. They don't pay the correct taxes, the working conditions are terrible, and they're shutting our high street down. You're absolutely right, Paul. You're absolutely right. It's because of people like Amazon that high street places are shutting down. Do you buy off Amazon? I do. Why? Because I can just sit here, click, click, and it arrives the next day in a box. We're paying for convenience here. Convenience is killing the world. Everything is short term. Short-termism, isn't it? Short-termism. Andy says they've done something to tyres. It doesn't taste the same now as we know it from younger days. Oh, they've probably taken all the sugar away. That's why. That's what they've done there, I bet you. Joseph, plastic is worse here in the US, way worse. I throw away at least £1 of plastic a day. Yeah, I'd probably, well, I mean, not so much now, to be honest, Joseph, because I cook a lot from scratch. But even so, the potatoes tend to come in a plastic bag. The peppers, sweet peppers, 3 in a plastic bag. The rice comes in a plastic bag. Even the tin cans of beans. Now, tins, metal, you think it would go into the ground. Well, that was all well and good until they started putting a plastic coating inside the tin. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Every time you buy something, it's getting a bit of plastic. Tea bags come in a box. What's in the box? Some sort of foil wrapper, which appears to be some sort of plastic. It's blooming everywhere, isn't it? They've got to stop it. They've got to stop using the plastic at source. That's the only way to do it. Roxy, Claire, Roxy says she's lost 10 stone. Congratulations, 10 stone is a lot. That's a lot. Roxy, my local market still sells boxes of broken biscuits as well. Excellent. Alrighty, we're going to do today's birthdays now, boys and girls. Are you ready for birthday time on the Chris Redden Show? Yes, I think there's only 3 birthdays to do today. And then I've got to go into town afterwards. Yes, 3 birthdays today. Happy birthday today to Carl Edwards, who has been to the Monday night karaoke a couple of times. Good morning, Carl. Why haven't you been recently, dear? The stage awaits you and your other friend. I can't remember his name now. Slightly older chap. Happy birthday to you, Carl. Hope you had a nice day. Have a nice day, all right? Happy birthday today to Daniel Taylor. Good morning, Daniel. Happy birthday. And to Carl Waring, who reaches the mighty age of 51 today. Happy birthday, Carl. And incidentally, I might well tell you, the person playing this is actually Carl who plays the Happy Birthday tune. Didn't know that, did you? Well, it's his birthday today, 51 years old. Carl is the one who played this tune. Happy birthday, Carl. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Carl, Daniel and Carl. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthday on this Thursday. Now, just to remind the gang, our quiz that we used to do on Wednesday has now moved to a Sunday. So, do you like the poster? Took me ages to do that. It's good, isn't it? You love it, don't you? I'll read out your final messages in a minute, okay, boys and girls. The quiz at the King's Head Theatre Bar has now moved to a Sunday. 8:30 p.m. You can win a £30 bar tab, and this starts this week. I say so this coming Sunday, and I would appreciate anyone coming down because it's always a bit difficult. It's always a real risk moving a night from one night to another, but we'll see what happens. If you could come down to North London on Sunday night, I promise you it's not serious, okay? I am as I am doing the show. All right, we don't really do serious. We like to have a bit of a laugh. So come along to the quiz at the King's Head Theatre Bar, Upper Street in Islington on Sunday night, 8:30 to 10:30. It's free to play. You don't have to pay anything to go in it. You just go in there, get yourself a drink, maybe a bag of crisps or something, and you do the quiz, 8:30 to 10:30. Ring ahead to book a table as well if you want. That's at the King's Head Theatre Bar, Upper Street in Islington on Sunday night at 8:30. Angel Hart. Hello, Angel. She only lives up the road from me. She's literally 2 minutes on the same street, same road as me. Angel says, I don't know which company it was, but they are wanting you to bring in a container like Tupperware and have your stuff from the deli counter, loose food to save on packaging. I think it's a great idea. I think that's a great idea as well, Angel. See if you can find out who that is, and perhaps we'll do that next time. What an excellent idea. Reusable stuff. Preferably glass. I've got to be honest, I've had Tupperware stuff, plastic stuff before. And if I do something that contains, say, a lot of tinned tomatoes, right? As I cook it, put it in the Tupperware box, but it discolours the plastic. This doesn't happen with glass. Never happens with glass. That being said, I have, on occasion, chipped off a bit of the glass. I don't know how I've done it, right? Not noticed it, reheated the food, and then suddenly, oh, what the hell's that? And you mustn't swallow it. You spit it out quickly. It's a bit of chopped up glass, and you immediately blame the people who bought out the tin tomatoes. But when you go and check your container, it's chipped off the side. So swings and roundabouts. Plastic Tupperware stuff, yeah, it just discolours very quickly, doesn't it? That's the only thing with that. But great idea, that. We should be bringing our own bits and pieces there, wrapping stuff in paper like it used to be. Often, it's been said before, you can't really turn back the clock. I get that. But there are some cases, I think, where we're going to have to. Otherwise, the planet just won't survive, will it? Andy says, when you watch The Only Way is Essex, there's loads of fake plastic people on there. Well, I don't, Andy. It's as simple as that. Or Love Island or anything like that. Do you watch? You may notice I don't mention any of these programs because I don't watch it. I've got more things to do with my time than watch fake people on the telly. I'll tell you that now. Joseph says it's all politics about the plastic. Big business, government won't let you go from being big oil to oil-free overnight. Too much money lost from any government. Yeah, I think you're right there. I tell you what, talking about these messages this morning, the way they're coming in is a bit odd as well. Because some of these subjects we've done hours ago, and yet the subjects we've done, there's people commenting on subjects ages ago, and then people are commenting on subjects we've just done, which indicates to me that the messages are just not coming through all at the same time. So there we are. Luke, I used to be able to get Coke in glass bottles. Yeah, you still can. In fact, Luke, I think you'll find Coca-Cola. The best tasting Coca-Cola I've always found, I don't know why this is, it might be in my head, seems to be from a glass bottle. Coca-Cola from a glass bottle, delicious. Coca-Cola from a tin can, also very nice. Not quite as nice from a glass bottle, but close to it. Coca-Cola from a plastic bottle, no, it don't taste the same. It really doesn't. It's an odd thing, that is. I'm sure the plastic isn't leaking into there or anything like that. But it is a bit odd how that works. Good. Paul says, good luck to England, who are playing a little football match tonight, boys and girls. They're doing quite well, aren't they? Poor old Germany. Oh, dear. Something else they've lost. Never mind, there's always next time in 4 years' time, lads. All right. Andy agrees about the Coke in a glass bottle as well. It does. It tastes better. Russ, big game on ITV. England versus Belgium this evening. So thank you very much. All right, that's it today, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining in. Pleasure to talk to you as always. I can't believe I've been talking this long today. But there you are. Sometimes there are longer shows than others. I'll see you again probably tomorrow morning around about the same time. I'm going to jump on my bicycle now and go into town. And I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.